Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm trying to get my camera up. Can you guys actually hear me? Because my camera is down. Hi, Erica. My camera is down. I am not sure why my camera is down. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, I'm having some
technical difficulties. My camera is down, so I'm not sure what's.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to try to work on the secondary camera for a moment while I disconnect and reconnect. But today I have a great story time for you guys. Hopefully this echo will repair itself once I get the camera back online. I'm going to be having my guest today talk to you guys about his supernatural story time. And I hope you guys enjoy it. My camera is still not up, so I'm not sure what we're going to do about that. Let me see if I can get my second camera here. Hold on, guys. Let's see. Start cam.
All right, we're going to go with front cam then. All right, here we go, guys. Sorry for the weird angle today. I'm not sure what's going on with that. All right. What's wrong one? Let's go here. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I'm the Oracle of Apollo, as you guys know, Dominique Rivera, and every Wednesday night, I live stream with the Supernatural Storytime here on E360 TV. And I have a guest today that I can't wait to introduce you guys to, but let's get him in here first. And you guys know that that's not just a leap of faith. You actually have to get here through the vortex. So let's bring him in, shall we?
4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Cannot hear you.
Okay, how about there?
There we go.
All right, let's see if we can get this fixed. For whatever reason, nothing wants to work today.
Yeah, I have the same issue with something that's happening with chargers.
Let's try to restart this. Sorry, guys. Screen here. Let's see. Okay, can everybody hear us and see us? It looks like it. Yay for that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now, Igor?
Very well.
Okay, great. So please go ahead and just introduce yourself and what you do for the moment.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Igor Galibov, and I am an intuitive healer. Work mostly with higher dimensional beings and the higher self. But primarily my gift is to tap into people's energy fields and go into their physical body, healing-wise, and realign their basically electromagnetic field to a perfect crystalline field where they can be aligned with their higher self and the higher realms.
Thank you for that. Hi, Erica. Let's just say hi to our friends here. Thank you for joining us. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
Hello.
And of course, all of your comments can be seen here in the comment section below. So feel free to ask Igor any questions that you have during the segment once we get into it. And this is all good. I think this is going to be good enough for today as far as the cameras go. I will have to figure this out later. I'm not sure what's going on today. But thank you guys for holding space for us while we get it together. And as always, I can't forget, I'm here with you guys, bringing you this information. So please make sure that you have your water ready, because this is not just a passive experience today. This is going to be an interactive experience as we talk with Igor today. And so energy is going to be shifting through you guys, and you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. And as always, I drink to your health and yours too, Igor. Cheers. So thank you, everybody, for being here. And before we get into Igor's story, I just want to let you guys know a little bit about myself. I'm the Oracle of Apollo, the Reiki Master Teacher, and you guys can join my free meetup group at meetup.com, Awakened Philadelphia, and we have wonderful meditations there and classes that you guys can join in. And every Wednesday night, you actually have an opportunity to win an angel blessing, a channeled angel message for yourself tonight. And all you have to do is share this feed or the replay, comment that you've shared, and then email me the Oracle of Apollo at Divine Encounters at e360tv.com, and subject is Ask the Oracle, and that will automatically enter you into getting your own personal channel message at the end of the next week's Wednesday night's feed at 7 p.m. But first, let's bring on what the good news of today is, because we don't like to start any episode without the good news first. So let's get to it. Okay, we're coming into the good news today, and I have to readjust my camera once again because this was the camera that I opened with. I might have to just hold it by my hands, guys. But today we have the Whale Energy card happening here, and it is saying breach. Let's see. Can we get this in the... Yes, breach. This powerful creature of the ocean takes a few great sweeps with his fins and propels himself briefly out of the waters where he spends the majority of his life. He's taking a break from the ordinary earth element in which he lives to exist, even for a few moments in the realm of the blue skies. Let me put this down because I can't see the page with it in my hand. All right, here we go. Having broken through the skin of the ocean in a magnificent display of fullness and strength, all baleen whales beach, but none more spectacularly than the humpbacks, are considered the acrobats of this family. They arch, they stretch, and twist their bodies, even as they approach the surface of the water, in what may be an ancient mating ritual, a form of communication, or even a way to remove parasites. In this image, the humpback whale that bursts out of the ocean expresses an almost palpable feeling of release and joy, often when we manage to change our environment, to break through illusionary blockages, when we experience an intense feeling of relief and can let go of any previously held fears and assumptions of what would happen once we did overcome that barrier. Whether it's material, emotional, or maternal. Emotional or maternal. Simply getting away from the trance of technology for a few hours and spending that time in nature is breach from the trappings of civilization that can suffocate us and prevent us from connecting to the earth. The message from this card today is it is time to take a break, not just a coffee break, but a respite from the usual environment you find yourself in. That trip you wanted to take, go for it. Tired of being indoors? Make it a point to go outside. You have become so attached to your surroundings that you have created within them an illusion of safety. Yet it is not these things that make you feel safe. Rather, the familiarity you have imbued in your surroundings have generated this false sense of security. Taking time away from the familiar is literally about to change everything in your external environment in a significant way, such as doing something unusual or perhaps something you have always wanted to experience. Another perspective is breaking through the barrier of beliefs that have constricted you in any way from being who you truly are. This is your opportunity to do some intentional breaching of these thought patterns, which will open you to different worlds and perspectives. And that is the good news for today. Don't come at me for my nails, guys. I just took off this nail polish. Don't come at me. Let's bring Igor back onto the screen. Yes. Oh, here with your family and bestie, and I see you, Nelsita. How are you feeling about the good news for today, Igor?
Excellent. All news are always positive, and the thing is what we make out of it.
Absolutely. So I hear you have a very special, supernatural, divine experience that you're about to lay on us today. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the beginning, and then we'll go ahead and get to the juicy stuff?
So, how my spiritual journey began. It began in 2004 with a very unusual experience where I had no idea about spirituality. So during that time period, my parents heard of a healer in South America, and I decided to go with them because my mom was ill. And on the way there, my whole idea was, I'm 24 years old, I will leave them there at whatever the spiritual encounter they want to have, and I will go explore Brazil and South America and wherever it's at. Didn't turn out that way. When I arrived there, the healer approached me and asked me, I have a closed heart. Do I want the healing? I did not think about any of it. I said, yeah, sure. Next thing I knew, I was out of my body, having a experience that I did not understand. I did not understand what astral travel was. I did not understand what spirituality is, meditation, none of that stuff. I was completely clueless. I came from a background in working on Wall Street. So I understood the financial industry. I understood if you give somebody $1, that's what makes the world go round. Not prayer or meditation. That was the form of manifestation. Even back then, I did not know these terms. So as I approached him, next thing I remember, I'm basically out of my body, looking at myself, and I see the healer. And next thing I remember is I'm back in my body, and the whole spiritual experience was out of this world. I was like, what just happened? I saw myself. I saw everything, but I was not inside my body. So a few days later, a gentleman that was in the vicinity, also traveling, visiting there from England, by name of Frank, came up to me and said, my angels told me I'm supposed to meet you here. I said, what angels? What are you talking about?
Angels.
Yeah. And I said, listen, if you know so much, tell me. And he starts to spit out this information that only I would know. Where I was born, my relationships, my personal traumas within myself. I was like, okay, you're the real deal. You know what? We kind of hung out for the rest of the day, and I had a lot of curious questions. What happened to me? How did I see this? What was really happening? He says, put your hand out. I said, okay. He's like, do you want your gift? I'm like, okay. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a little box or something. And I put my hand out, and all of a sudden I remember he puts his hand on top of mine, and a jolt of energy runs through my body, and I'm like, and that was it. He's like, that's your gift. I was like, okay. I go to bed. The following day I wake up, and I feel like I have a halo on, or like a hat. I put my hands, there's no hat. Remove it, feels like a hat. I come up to the mirror, there's nothing there. So I come outside, and obviously we're in a third country. There was a cow standing there. And something that hits me inside my head, I was about 10 feet away from it, and I reached my energetic hand, and I feel the cow's heartbeat. And I can see the organs. I can feel the rest of the organs. I reached my hand back really quickly, and I said, okay, this is crazy. I need to get my coffee. So I ran to the coffee line. I remember there's only one coffee shop there in that whole town because you're in a third country. I come into the line. It was about 6:30 a.m. and there was already a few people in front of me. And I'm standing in the line, and all of a sudden my stomach starts to hurt. And it was so painful. I walk away from the line. My stomach stops hurting. Now I don't want to lose my place. I go back in the line, and again, I feel the pain. And I'm like, I really want the coffee, and I'm focusing on the coffee, and I'm like thinking, where is this pain coming from? Not really in tune with my body, not in tune with everything. And the woman in front of me, she turns around, and I see she's pregnant. And at that same time, I see beams of light coming inside her stomach that she was having a healing done. I'm like, okay, I got my coffee. I went and I sat down, and as I'm drinking my coffee, all of a sudden, a gentleman walks by, stops next to me, and talking to somebody, and I can feel pain in my whole left side of the body. I jump up, and I look at him, and I see like a lightning strike going through his body. And I just grabbed my coffee, and I walked away from people, and I was like, okay, this is like really crazy. What's really happening? And I'm standing next to a tree. As I'm standing backwards next to a tree, I feel tingling sensations coming into the back of my head and my neck. It feels good, but it feels strange and weird. I'm like, okay. I turn around, there's nobody there. And I'm not thinking it's a tree because I'm like, what is this tingling sensation? Next thing I feel like whispers coming in. I'm like, and I can see, I'm standing in front of it, but I can see in my head that is the tree coming in to me. I'm like, wow, okay. This is crazy. I need to find this guy. What happened to me? I need to understand what's really going on here. So I started looking for him. He disappeared. He's nowhere to be found. The following day, he appears, and he's like, oh, now I have to teach you how to protect yourself, how to activate your chakras. I was like, protect myself? Chakras? What are you talking about? Like, why do I need all this? Like, get me back to the way I was. I don't need none of this stuff. I mean, it's interesting, but the personality doesn't want to, is curious, but I'm like, still want to be my own self because these things or understandings were like alien to me. So after 2 weeks, I came back home. And obviously, it's like you've been in meditation for such a long period of time, and these kind of energies, you've been expanded. And I come home and I am sensitive to everything. I am seeing things, I am feeling things, I am not in control, and my energies are going all over the place. I'm coming to my brother. I can tell him that he has problems with his knee. He's like freaking out, looking at me. Don't tell me this stuff. I don't want to know. I'm telling my mom what's wrong, my dad. They like looking at me. Something is wrong with him. What happened? My friends all kind of started to startle and they were like, whoa, this is crazy. We don't want to know this stuff. So for me, it was like in the open, as I'm walking around, I'm doing all these and seeing all these energies and reading people and giving guidance, but I'm not understanding what's really happening. So I was like a kid with all the powers, but no wisdom. And I remember one time I'm standing in an elevator with my cousin and I can feel his belt area in pain really badly. And I'm like, you have pain there? He's like, no, I just want to go pee. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening here? And so after that, I kind of locked myself up for the following 3 weeks to a month in my room. And because I could not control things. I would see things, I would close my eyes, I would visualize things, I would come out of my body. I didn't understand what was happening. It was interesting, but it was crazy. And I disconnected from the physical reality. I did not want to work. I did not want to do nothing that had to do with the physical understanding of life. So first thing I remember, there was a Garden of Letters bookstore on South Street. And that hit me. It had like some spiritual stuff. So I got in the car and I drove over there. And I came there, and the first book I picked up was The Cosmic Healing by Mantak Chia or something like that. And as soon as I opened it, and there was pictures of chakras, and I saw the pictures of chakras, my chakras activated. And I was like, next picture. And I started going through pictures, and those pictures, as I looked at them, I started to feel it within myself and everything around me. So I started to come around all these books. I grabbed all these books, and I did not sleep. I would just have downloads of information of the authors that wrote these books connecting to their consciousnesses. As I did that, I would just receive information, days and weeks and months and years afterwards. So I spent about 3 to 4 years complete, like in meditation, about 8 hours a day. During the night, I would meditate. I would go to astral travel, started working with different spirits, with angels, guides, and different names started to come through. And during that time period, I also started to kind of work with people just randomly, doing healings wherever I see, wherever I go. And I started to feel bad after I did healings. So I started to kind of, okay, wait a minute, why am I feeling bad? So there are certain healings we can do and certain healings that are each individual's karma or their path. So I started to differentiate, okay, can I do a healing here, or do I hold space, or I allow them to kind of be there?
Well, can you give an example of that for the people at home?
Sure. So let's say each individual has a certain illness or a problem. That's not an illness or a problem. That is your soul telling you that bring awareness to this part of yourself that needs attention or love. And what happens is that a healer comes in and heals that. They feel good for that period of time, let's say a week, a month, or whatever it is, right? But the illness comes back. The illness comes back is not because the healer is bad. It is because they're going through the patterns that they need to recognize. The healer can only do so much because they're holding space. So what happens is during that time period, I took the karma upon myself and I felt that energy, and it took me about a day or 3 days most of the time to clear that out of me. So I learned how to transform the karma that I picked up from other people. So that was a benefit for me. But for other people, they need to recognize the patterns of beliefs, of emotions, of past memories that needs to be addressed in order to release that. Because our suffering does not come from just anywhere. It comes from the memory of an event. If you have a memory of it because you're holding on to it, that's why we have pain, is because something happened to us. So if you have no memory, there is no suffering. And that's where meditation comes in to clear all that.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And before we get into the rest of the story, because this is getting good, this is getting really good. But
so about 3 to 4 years, that's what I did. I would tell my parents I'm going to work. They would leave the house. I would come back inside the house and I would meditate. I would go to bed. I would meditate. I would go through different dimensions and realities, and that was interesting to me. I would watch X-Men. I was in that reality because whoever created that movie was tapping into a reality that already exists. So I learned how to tap into different dimensions. I started to work with Ascended Masters and with Akashic Records. And Ascended Masters would always constantly guide me, like, build a facility, build a center, do this. And I started to do that.
Okay,
And,
before you go further, Igor, I'm going to pause you right there because this is getting good. This is getting really good. And everybody knows that we have a few breaks in the segment. So we're going to break this up right now. We're going to do the divine experience. And since Igor, this is your first time on the show and seeing the show, what we're going to do right now is that we're going to give the opportunity for everybody at home to experience a solid minute of energy exchange from us. You can participate or you can receive totally your call, but we're going to do that now. So everybody at home, you guys know, put the phone down, put the tablet to the side. It's about to be our divine experience moment. All right, so from 1 to 10, I'm going to challenge you guys at home to just close your eyes for one moment and let Igor and I know where you feel like you are energetically today. 1 being this is the least amount of energy I've had in a long time, and 10 being I am absolutely 100% energized. So let me know in the comment section below right now, what are you from 1 to 10? How about you, Igor? What are you at today from 1 to 10?
1 to 10, I would say I'm a 9 or an 8 easily because I always am aware of myself. I cannot say I'm a 10 because then I would be just perfectly crystalline atom of existence. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm always conscious of myself, and I feel some of the people that are watching us right now, I want them to bring awareness to their heart area about 5 to 6 inches in front of their heart. Whoever is there, I'm picking up that heart space right there needs to be illuminated. So nice. Just take a second over there and just bring that awareness there and just allow that energy to expand out.
Thank you. I am at like an 8.5. And I think that's so much better than yesterday because right now I'm detoxing. So things are moving out. We have some people here commenting. We have Nelsida. She is at a 7 today. Thank you, Nelsida, for sharing. We have Miss Elizabeth. She is at a 6 today. Thank you for sharing from the YouTube areas. We have Miss Erica sharing her 6 and another YouTube. Thank you, Rube X Cube, for being here. And you are also at a 6. Okay, guys, me and Igor are going to open the channel. And then as soon as this music is done, be prepared to receive your 1 minute. Everyone's eyes are closed now and prepare exactly 60 seconds on the clock starting now. And go ahead and take a breath in, breathing that all the way down to your tailbone, letting it exhale out nice and gentle. On the next breath in, going ahead and sending that into your heart center and allowing beautiful golden energy to enter and flooding out of your heart space, clearing anything that no longer serves you. Each exhale is an opportunity to release stories, release imaginations, release fears, and no labels need to be stated here. Just know that the exhale is programmed right now to release what is not of your highest and greatest good. Breathing in more beautiful golden light now. Allow that to enter into your entire body, completely filling you up, expanding beyond your entire body, entering into all of your chakras. They're all flooded now with beautiful illuminated light. And with that, we bring the left palm and the right palm together in front of the heart space. And that concludes our 1 minute divine experience. Namaste. And of course, if you're still moving after you open your eyes, please keep your arms, legs, and self inside of the moving vehicle. Thank you. Don't stand. Please have some water. It's that time of the day to have some water. Woo! I am giddy. I'm here. This is where I'm going. I feel like football posts. This is where I'm at right now. How about you, Igor? From 1 to 10, where are you at now?
I'm beyond the 10. That 1 minute was up there.
Yeah, that's how I'm like, I just feel like this. Okay. Let's see. So where are you guys at now from 1 to 10 after that 1 minute energy shift? Okay, Erica's husband also participated in this. He was at an 8. Daughters were at a 10. All right. So where are you guys now from 1 to 10? I feel so much spiraling energy still coming inside of me. It's like right here, just coming in, coming in, coming in, coming in. Okay, somebody put a really long comment there, but I'm not quite sure what that is. Now, Sita, thank you for commenting. She is at a 9, so she's moved up a few points. I believe that was 2 points that she moved up, and she has little heart emojis. Erica is feeling high right now. You're welcome. She's at a 9 and climbing. We are our best chemical factories inside of here. We don't need anything else. It's inside. Okay, and anybody else wants to comment, go ahead and put your comment in the comment section below now. And before we, I don't know, forget what we're even doing here today, because I'm kind of halfway there already. Igor, Rubik's Cube jumped up some points too. He's at an 8 now. I believe you jumped up 2 points. That's great. That's a pretty good average for everybody at home. Okay, Elizabeth is at an 8 and she's rising up. Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. I appreciate you for being here. So you were saying the last thing was, you were talking about them telling you, okay, it's time to open a center. And this is where we paused.
Yeah. So we can get a lot of divine guidance, and it's very exciting and it's very powerful, and it starts to have this tingling sensation through our body. Our minds goes into euphoria and we step into a different dimension where we kind of forget about what's really happening in this 3D reality, and we are in our own reality. And which is beautiful and fantastic. But that kind of started to get me into play, into flow. And about 4 years later, I piled $150,000 of credit card debt by doing nothing in the physical reality, but all my time in the ethers, in the astrals, and visiting different extraterrestrial beings, working with ascended masters, going through all these Akashic records, past lives and future lives, which are all fantastic and all are powerful, all are great.
Of course.
But the ones that are important is here. We all want to be joyful and exciting. So that was lacking because I enjoyed being up there so much, but I lacked being here. And in about 2008, 4 years later, I was in New York. And I was already thinking at that point, okay, I have so much credit card debt. I need a job. I need a business. I need to do something. And I was in New York for an interview for working in Wall Street again. And it did not resonate with me. It did not resonate with me, but that's all my personality knew how to do. So as I started to explore, then I started to do real estate, and still did not resonate with me. I did not feel it. And an Indian guru was walking there during that time period, and he comes up to me and pokes me in my third eye and says, when you learn how to stop time, you will create. You'll be able to manifest. And poked me right in here. And he was kind of short. I'm about 6 foot tall. So, but it was very interesting, and just kind of, it hit me. It hit me at that point. I said, what does that mean? I came home and I started to meditate. And I was like, what do you mean by stopping time? So when you come into the void, you're actually stopping your reality. And when the time stops, whatever you plant into that center becomes real. It becomes reality, because now what you're doing, you're planting a seed into the void of your existence, where now that starts to shine out and magnify into your reality. So the universe starts to bring things to you. We don't manifest, it starts to magnify. And then we call it manifestation. So it starts coming to you naturally. So I was like, okay, I got it. And as soon as I got into that, it took me a couple of weeks to sit and kind of figure this out. What does it mean? What does it mean? And when I came into that void, that emptiness, that stillness, I was like, okay, I want to create a service business that provides service. And that's when I started to focus on service business. And I thought I'll have like a transportation company because I had no limitation of how much money you can make. So I said, I want to go somewhere I can have no limits. But I'll have about 3 vehicles, ended up with 30 vehicles with 75 employees and 24-hour business. And it was all grand, like beautiful and dandy, and bank accounts were shining, and I was working and everybody was having jobs and I was creating great service. It didn't make me happy. I was like, I don't get to do what I enjoy, is being of service myself to the people. But with that, I learned how to integrate 5D and 3D reality, how to be in both worlds, how to still function as a regular person and still function in my 3 and 5D reality of service to the rest of humanity. So with that, I started to still do workshops and sessions and events, and it was all beautiful. And the events were held here in Philadelphia, on Duncan Road, so the Fox Chase Center. And with all of that, with all the experiences, it was beautiful. And I don't regret anything that happened because everything was a positive learning lesson. There was something that allowed a little tweak within me that allowed me to see a different perception, to be a master in the 3D reality as well as in the 5D reality. So I learned how to close that gap to bring those two worlds together into harmony, into our hearts, into peace, into love, because that is what we all want. We want to be abundant. And what really triggered me was, if God is everything, then we must be everything in this reality, because otherwise we are not full potential of God's self. Because we came here to experience life to its fullest, in a joyful state, in a happy state. So yes, we have our ups and downs, but it is our perception and reaction to things that what allows us to change how we create our reality.
That's a powerful statement.
And with that, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to be independent. So I created a financial freedom for myself. And during that time period, I had children. And my children, I taught how to do this from childhood. I would work with them energetically, play games with them. I have a 13-year-old daughter and a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old, and they all are able to tap into their beautiful golden hearts, to connect to their higher selves. And I started to work with my kids since they were babies, play with them, activate their third eye and everything else, and communicate to them telepathically. So my oldest daughter, I started to raise telepathically until age of 3. I would tell her, give me a spoon. She would go and get it. I would tell her, where do you want to go? She would point to me physically where to go. And we played games like that. And until one day, obviously, my family did not understand that. They thought I was crazy. My ex-wife, same thing. She did not understand that. She thought I was crazy. Right. So to them, it was like out of this world. What are you doing? You're making them like hippies, basically. So it was also a positive way that allowed me to ground myself and say, okay, how do I structure this that will be understandable for every single human being?
Right.
And that's what I started to work with the divine templates of perception. So I started to go into the mental body and started to adjust my mental body and the grid systems within it. And it will automatically trigger my belief systems that will naturally shift. So my daughter one day comes, I believe she was like in 2nd grade, and she says, before that, she was in 2nd grade. I started to teach her how to connect to her higher self. And one day she comes from school and says, Papa, I got an A on my test. I was like, congratulations. She's like, I didn't even study. I'm like, okay, what did you do? She's like, I asked my higher self for all the answers. I'm like, that's not what I taught you, but okay, that's great. It works. So it comes along, second test, she got an A again. Third test, she comes all upset and throws the backpack and she says, it doesn't work. This is not real. I said, wait a minute, don't get upset. What doesn't work? I asked the answers and I got an F on my test and everything. I was like, well, let's ask your higher self. What does it want you to do? And at like that age, at 8 years old, she says, my higher self wants me to develop my brain. And that was like, well, she got it. That it wants her to study because the mind still needs development in this 3D reality. So the interaction between in the physical reality, we still need to be active. So she kind of understood that, but I would still take her to the healing sessions with me, to the events that I was doing, and the workshops that I was doing, and they would see all this, and she would tell me, "Oh, this person was not thinking of what you told them to. They were in their own world. They were thinking of this and this and this while you were walking and doing a healing behind them." I was like, wow. So one day I would have a picture of Saint Germain, El Moria, Kuthumi, all the ascended masters, Jesus, Lady Nada, like, all the ascended masters in there, and I'd pass it around to the people and say which one you resonate with. And each one would say, oh, I like this one, or I like this one. I resonate with Jesus. I resonate with El Moria. I was like, okay. I show it to my daughter, and my daughter's like, Papa, they're all one soul.
I remember this conversation because this is around when I met you.
And she was like, just blew me out of there. I was like, okay, at this age, she's got her clarity. And it shows that every single one of us can do this. Absolutely. All we have to do is give it some time. We spend 8 hours a day working. If you spend 8 hours a day working on yourself, you will become God's self.
So true. And speaking of working on this all of the time, that leads me to the next segment, which I'm going to ask everybody at home. And this is going to be news to Igor. I'm about to drop this on him in a second. But go grab your kids, go grab the husband, and go grab the wife, because we're about to challenge Igor to a psychic test. Okay, where you're going to tap into your intuition. I'm going to present you with the question. Oh, I forgot the camera's on here. I'm going to present you with a question. No pressure, no pressure. And then you're going to let everyone at home what your thought is. And everyone at home also gets to play. So here we go. Are you guys ready for this? Let's go. Using your intuition, what animal is behind this card? Antelope, elephant, monkey, or eagle? Put your comment in the comment section below now. Okay, everybody, you have to the end of this music to comment antelope, elephant, monkey, or eagle. Let's go. Okay, Igor, you have to comment before everybody else has to comment.
Okay, all of the above. No, it looks more like honestly, I don't know what it was. It looked like a compilation of all animals there.
All the animals came in?
With either antelope.
You're going to go with antelope? All right. So we have Donna saying she believes it's monkey. Thank you, Donna, for your prediction. And you guys know that if you actually get this right and you win, I keep looking at the wrong camera. If you guys get this right, you're going to get from me, the Oracle of Apollo, a genuine, certified, wait for it, social distancing high five. But only if you win, okay? So we have some more predictions here. We have Elizabeth with elefante. We have Rubik's Cube with elephant as well. So I'm going to post now the answer, and let's see what we have. Oh, wait, we have one more here. Well, a lot of here in one comment. Ariella and I say elephant. Emily says antelope. Natalie says monkey, and the husband says eagle. Hello, husband and kids. Thanks for watching.
My oldest daughter name is Ariella.
Aww. Okay, guys, are you ready for the reveal? Let's go. Using your intuition, what animal is behind this card? Antelope, elephant, monkey, or eagle? Put your comment in the comment section below now. Okay, reveal time. Did you predict elephant?
Elephant.
It's okay, but the collective got it. High five for you guys. Yes, you guys are getting so good at this. I'm so happy. And we do this every Wednesday and Sunday night. You guys are getting so good at that. We should start a 1-800 line, I think, by now. Oh, good job, guys. Igor, it has been such a big pleasure having you today, and it has been absolutely fantastic hearing your stories, and I feel just so full of joy having you today. Can you let everyone at home know where they can get a hold of you if they feel so inclined?
Sure. So I do one-on-one energetic healings and sessions as well. That is what's posted as my Instagram. You can follow me on there, and you can DM me on there if you guys are looking to do energetic sessions. Also, I have a YouTube page as well, and it's called Alignment of Light. There's meditations posted on there, and different interviews and different information as well. And I also do workshops on Zoom, which come randomly based on my intuition, because I do travel a lot. So things, whenever it comes up, I usually do them on Thursdays, and the workshops are geared to allow each individual to become their own healer and to have freedom of their own innate self. So all of that is channeled for independency of self-sustainability for each individual. So you are your own doctor, you are your own healer, you are your own professor, you are the master of your reality.
Oh, that's beautiful. And thank you for that. So,
and thank you for everything that you do, Dominique. It's beautiful to see you again. And thank you so much for all the people out there. Blessings and much love to you.
Okay, well, we're not kicking you out yet. We're just going to put you backstage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the midweek collective reading, and this is going to also apply to you and everyone else here, and then you can come back and give us any thoughts or add-ons that you want to add to that.
Sure.
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Thanks. Okay, guys, you know what time it is. Midweek collective reading, letting you know what the energy flow is for the rest of your week. Okay, bringing up the secondary camera. This was our blessing today. Let's see what totem animal we have happening for the week. I'm thinking, Igor, you picked up on all the animals because the whole deck is right next to me. All right, so we have the links coming up here for the totem animal for the rest of the week. The word here is discernment. Look beyond immediate appearances. And I feel like this is very important, and I teach my students to practice discernment. Because when you're working with energy, it's very important to acknowledge where it's coming from. Is it loving? Is it safe? And how you feel about yourself, and does it respect your free will? And this is how we practice discernment. So making sure that you're not just taking things for face value here. I also feel like there's a little bit of trickster energy for this. So I feel like for some of you, if you're going to a mechanic or you're buying a house or anything like that, make sure you're getting a second opinion or having someone that you feel trust towards to help assist you with this. Oh, okay. So right here in the second card, we have the Trust Your Path card. I was just thinking about this card this morning in the shower. If you knew that you would be supported, what would you do? And it's kind of like you have fears, right? And we all have these fears. But recognizing that there's all of these helpers, some that Igor mentioned, like Moria, Linara, Saint Germain, and all these beautiful divine energies that are here to assist you and support you and align you with your higher self, your purpose, and what you're meant to do, your soul's mission. So if you knew that you were supported and that you could bring that 5D into the 3D, what do you feel like you could accomplish? Could you accomplish financial freedom, releasing karmic blocks, healing, self-sustained? You know, there's so many things here, and all that has to do with is trust. But first, before you don't blindly trust. Before you can trust, we practice discernment. We have the sleep card here. And this is from your guardian angel. When I see the sleep card, it's kind of like pay attention to, for some of you, pay attention to your dreams and your visions, making sure that you have enough adequate rest. And for some of you here, I feel like adequate amount of water. and energies flowing in through me as I'm stating this. Making sure that you have everything you need to have a balanced cycle of energy here, because without enough sleep, you're not going to be able to think clearly and be where you are and be focused. The next card we have here is the High Priestess, blessing you guys with the number 2 energy, the number 2 in numerology being that of partnerships and unions, sacred unions. This card is about hidden powers, reflection of ideas, and knowledge. This is perception. So I feel like here we're going to go through that discernment stage, that trusting. We're going to be able to sleep on it, as they say, right? When you're considering something, sleep on it. And then we'll be able to have the right perception because we'll be in alignment, we'll be focused. We see all this electricity kind of like, it looks like it's shooting out of this little nebula, but it also could be coming in and filling it up with its energy. So I feel like this is a really important visual alignment here, and it's all about aligning here, tapping into your emotions, allowing yourself to experience the unseen, allowing yourself to acknowledge what is unseen. A lot of people go through these healings and they're like, I don't even need this. And then you get in there and it's like, whoa, I never even knew I was feeling like that. So taking time to rest, taking time to meditate, taking time to sleep for some of you is going to allow you to align with that electrical flow and let it build up inside of you, okay? And bring a clear perception into your life so that way you know how to navigate in the 3D with that 5D information. But it all starts with pausing first. It all starts with being still first. Okay, guys? So let's see what this next card is going to be here. Interesting. All right. So for the we're clarifying this card. We have the Hangman, which is about making choices and decisions. We have the Karma card because every action that we take is actually creating karma for ourselves. So every action that we take is going to create something that we magnify towards ourselves, that we are inviting back towards ourselves. And then we have the Moon Phases card, which kind of is in alignment with the High Priestess because this is about emotions, unseen things that are in the dark, so to speak. So making sure that when you're navigating your lands and you're going through your turning points, your transitions, that you're making decisions that feel like they're in alignment for you. So that way you feel like you're creating good karma. And that's that karma that's really going to assist you. The number 3 card, the number 3 numerology is actually in this card. And this is about building things together with other people and as well as service to others as well. It's also in sacred geometry, this number creates the triangle. And you guys see my big old triangle here. I'm a big fan of triangles. And I really feel like this is all about making sure you're taking appropriate action this week that feels like it's in alignment with your highest self. And you'll be able to do that once you practice those other steps, the discernment, the sleep, and then building that trust. Let's see what your blessings are this week. And again, these blessings, for those of you who have never tuned in before, these are not tarot cards. These are blessing cards. I've energetically opened an angel portal prior to this feed, and I am expediting that into your energy field now with heart links. So we have Angel Ariel here. He is blessing you guys with enlightenment. So maybe you're in the point where it's like, okay, I have to make a decision, but I'm not sure what that even means to me right now. I'm not even sure what direction. Well, the angels are blessing you with that enlightenment card. That way you know that one, you're being supported because they're telling you and they're validating it with the Angel Raphael card. In addition to that, it's kind of like to let you know, all right, this is the next step I have to take because I can trust it now because I've done the homework. I can trust it, and here it is. So it's like an epiphany, enlightenment. Additionally, once again, I'm gonna beat the horse, as they say. You are supported. You have the blessing of support. Angel Celestina is saying, we are blessing you with support. So take that, allow it into your energy field, claim it, claim these blessings into your energy field so that you can see them. I also have here the blessing of beauty from Angel Faith. And that's really important because this isn't superficial beauty. This isn't just aesthetic, but this is creating a beautiful inner world so that you can allow yourself to radiate that outward. All right. So if you're feeling beautiful on the inside, none of this is going to matter. Okay. And then you can allow that feeling to overflow out of you and then create a space that you feel is homey. You can create a space that you feel is beautiful. Once you start to recognize beauty, beauty magnifies back and is reflected back at you. And you start to see beauty in all people, in all places, in all things. And life is just beautiful. And what is life but beauty in itself? So that is your midweek energy collective reading. All right, guys. Let me know if you guys have any statements about that in the comment section below. And as always, the angels respect your free will and they will not superimpose themselves onto your they will never superimpose themselves into your life. You have to invite them in. So claiming this today in the comment section below is inviting the angels into your life to allow them to assist you, elevate you, and beautify you. Okay, Igor, bringing you back.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. And it is that week exactly of that is basically beginning your new ideas, putting it into action. You may have gave a birth or some new creativity came to you about a job, a business, a venture, whatever it is, move from one location to another. It is basically right now is an idea that had a spark. So it's time to basically claim it.
Yeah,
So
that
it's
new moon energy is right. It's all in alignment with it.
exactly. It was all coming through. Even for myself, we just had a retreat in Mexico last week. Just came a few days ago, and it was basically a lot of energy of purpose. What is my purpose? How do I serve, or how do I do? What do I need to go? And it's basically all clarity towards that direction. So it's kind of okay. Now you have found a direction. Next thing, you start acting upon it. So this time right now till January is a perfect time to lay everything out, plan it out, and start taking the actions towards that direction. Because one thing is visualizing it, the other thing is acting upon it. And I always say, pray for the things that you want, do the things that you need, because we are here on 3D to create, and visualize it and take the action towards it, because now you have created a path for yourself.
Absolutely. And this is all in alignment. Like you said, we're in that energy, and astrologically, we're also in that energy. We're in that volcano energy where things are about to just come up and out, and what no longer serves us is going to be gone. But we have to make sure that we're still in that 3D mode and making sure we're taking action. So thank you for that, Igor. I appreciate you so much. And thank you guys for joining me. I'm live streaming every Sunday night at 7 p.m. with your horoscope blessings forecast, and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. with a new guest each week. Next week, we're actually going to be bringing on one of the producers of E360 TV. I twisted his arm a little bit, and he's actually going to come and tell us a story about the first time he met a medium. So if you guys have never spoken to a medium is a person that can speak to spirits rather, or your passed over loved ones. And he's going to tell us all about that. So make sure you guys are tuning in and sharing this feed, so that way you could also win your angel blessing message next week as well. Well, we have one more comment here. We have a lot of people claiming it, and Donna tells you, thank you for being here. And that's from Donna. So thank you all so very much. My heart is even more full ending this broadcast than it was beginning the broadcast. And without your interactions, what are we even doing here? So thank you. You guys make this show what it is. We create divine experiences together. And I hope that you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember the divine always has your back.